Close that. Close that. There we go. It's going to be this one here. Probably have to take that off. Well, hello guys, how we doing? Hit the fan on my microphone, I think. Hang on one second here. Oh. That should be better now. Where's my drink at? You guys hear me okay? Everything sound all right? Hey. Oh, all right. So I will say real quick that microphone issues should be better today. And I was able to figure out what was wrong with the Sony a6000. Aaron actually helped me out with a quick, private live stream. And I found out that I had the thing on photo mode, which is why it was a very delayed picture and why I had stuttery auto. I didn't realize it was in picture mode, but I now put it to video mode, and it should be good. So we'll be able to get a little bit better focus on here. Like the C920 cameras, they do really good for 1080p, but their focus is pretty slow. Like when I put my hand up here, it takes a hot second for it to do that and go back, wait for it, and there it refocuses. Llama says Mike might be clipping. It does actually look like it's clipping a little bit. Let me turn my gain down a smidge. That should be better. I don't seem to be clipping as much now. Let me know if you guys are still hearing a clipping. Please let me know. I did have it boosted earlier. Jesse, Llama, 3D Obsession, Niam, Eduardo, Aaron. What is up, everybody? Got a couple people here so far. So we should have some better picture with this camera, which I'm pointing to it. I'll switch to that one here in a minute. But today we're doing part 2 of the BLV MGN cube, and we're going to assemble the X gantry. We're going to assemble the Y, and we're going to put the linear rails on the X and Y components. I haven't found an easy way to put these on. I was looking at the maybe a tad too much. Let me where's it at? Filters. Let me pop this down just a little bit more. And I'm gonna have to take care of one of my kids. So I'll be right back, guys. Dad duty calls. All right, Dan, what's up, man? What was he doing? Oh yeah. So I was looking today at the instructions. I actually found, I have here on my other screen. Where are we at? Here we go. So I found a Fusion 360 model of the BLV MGN cube. So I was using this kind of as a reference for making sure that I had printed all the right parts. My goal is to two-tone some of the parts, but for right now, I just want to kind of get it assembled and go from there. Some of the parts that I want to two-tone are just minor things to do, at a later date. So to kind of show you here in the model, so we're going to be assembling these two parts here on the left of the gantry. So this connects the X gantry to the Y linear rails. And then we switch to the other side. Here's the right, those two parts. We have the Y tensioner on the right and the other Y tensioner here on the left. And then we have back here, these are called the back corners. The left is 2 parts and the right is actually 3 parts here. And then these little like top caps are another part, but I printed them, but they're not really that important. So that is going to be the main shtick of today's stream. So I'm going to start first with putting the X rail on the X gantry, and then I'm going to zip tie that so that it doesn't fall off. And then we're going to need to take off these top 2 beams in order to be able to assemble the back to or to do the Y linear rails. I have already printed out the guide here for the X and Y. So these are just simple guides to help you line everything up and make sure that the rail is perfectly straight. So I went ahead and did these. So basically I'll put it on one end, tighten it down, go down the other end, tighten that one down, slide it back and forth, make sure we are still good, and then we can continue with that. But these are just little kind of guides to ensure that you install them exactly straight, and especially for the 2040, it's only going on one of the 2 rails, or one of the 2 grooves, I should say. You kind of go from there. Yeah, Gunner, I was just talking about this right here. The only other thing that I've done so far is I did print out some TPU feet to put under here just so it wouldn't mark up my desk or the floor. They don't fit at all, so they're actually made to just slot on the bottom of 2040. And since these have these 90-degree brackets on here, it doesn't work out. So I just ended up cutting them and kind of hot gluing them on there for now. It's a temporary fix, but I just needed something so that it wouldn't be gouging out my desk, or my floor is covered in like weight mats to kind of help with sound, and it was tearing into that. So I needed something just to protect the floor and the table from these feet. I'm going to design something different, I think, because I didn't find anything online that's specifically made for this printer. So let's go ahead and switch cameras, and then we can get started on here. Where are we at here? So we're going to do this camera here. So audio should be good. There should be no clipping. It should be having nice, fast, yeah, look at that. Nice, fast autofocus right there. Right back out. So we can get started on this. And the first step again is we're going to put one of these rails on the X. And the X actually will match up. I just have to put one of the side pieces on here, and then the rail will fit in, and then the other side of that will hop on there. So that should be pretty easy to figure out. I will need to put all of the T-nuts on here first. And it didn't say how many to do, so I know some builds they only do every other hole. I guess I'm going to do that here. There is really nothing that says how many to actually drill, but this one moves really, really well. It has friction against it, obviously it's not just falling on its own accord, but it does slide the entire rail very nice and smoothly. It's the first one I've opened up. It does say that this is an original Highwind, as you can see there. It does have all the proper markings on it, so maybe this is, and if it is, it's a doggone good price on a kit. Let me turn this other light on here. There we go. So that's that. So now we just have to flip this over, and I'm assuming, again, there's not a ton of actual directions for this, but there are a bunch of these shorter M3s that fit the rail, I just dropped one. You know, I'm sure if I'm short one, it's okay, right? Yeah, I'm not going to look for that one right now. But yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and use a bunch of these in order to get it hooked up. So let me angle you down a smidgen more here. Every other is plenty, Aaron is saying. So, all right, we're going to do every other. I don't know why this is getting so dark. It seems manual mode on the video section. I'm still trying to figure it out. But there's no real... I have to go back to photo mode, adjust the settings, and then go back to manual. So, yeah. So, yeah. So we're going to start with the end ones. Yep, let's fit right in there. And then I probably should open up the T-nuts. So these are all the bits and pieces that come with the actual kit. So it gets you your basic assembly done with the screws it comes with. It does not come with everything, I can say that. Because it doesn't come with any of the NeoPixels, or it doesn't come with any of the... What else was there? There's a few other parts that I ordered that were in the build. Like they're like basically optional parts. This kit that I bought gives you just the bare essentials to get the printer assembled, and if you want anything extra, then you need to buy it separately. Quick, I did spend a good portion of a morning the other day. I got out my Dremel and I Dremeled down all of the other 90-degree angle brackets here that I needed to do. So that took probably about maybe 10 minutes to do the ones that I needed to do with just a sanding disc. Sanding disc worked really well. I went through 2 of them. They were old. I'm sure with one brand new sanding disc, probably could have did all of them. But it made quick work of those little nubbins in order to kind of get those out of the way and get the rest of these parts installed. These are a smidgen on the... These are definitely well oiled. Gotta be careful. So the one thing with these rails, you can't let the carriage fall off, otherwise the bearings could go flying. Actually, we're going to skip that one and go to here, because there's an even amount of slots for these. So missing one won't be a problem. It'll still be very secure. Okay, so all those are on there. We can go ahead and set it on the rail itself. The extrusion, I should say, sorry. Alright. So we just need to, again, match up one of these with the end here. Put that to there. Make sure the other side matches. Go back that way just a little bit. Okay. Now we can get out our guide. Put our guide on one end here. And that just kind of latches right on there like that. And I've got it lined up with my first hole. Now I can tighten down that one. Pull the guide off. Up here to the far side. Again, line it up with the screw there. Tighten that down. And then we should be totally in line. But I will go ahead and just use this to ensure that these middle ones are lined up and good to go. Hello from Argentina. It's kind of fun to see where a lot of people are from. It's not going to move, but I'll use the guide anyways. Yeah, Gunner's right. Sourcing parts is boring. And again, I did buy the cheaper version of this kit. There is a much more expensive version that I did not feel like it was worth the money to me. If you're someone that has crazy brand loyalty and you care if you have all genuine parts, then that would be the case. All right, there's X, right like that. So now, before I do anything else, again, this is just to be safe. I'm just gonna get 2 zip ties, and I'm going to put a zip tie on either end here. And these will not interfere with anything that I'm working on tonight, but they will keep this carriage from accidentally sliding off. And there's that. And this is going to sit like so. So this is going to be top mounted. So now kind of the fun thing to figure out here. So the Y rails go under this piece of 2040 in here. So I think I'm going to take off these side plates, take off this rail up here, install it, and then put it back in. And it is going into the near side one. And I did measure, it is 70.5 millimeters from the very back to the front, or to where the rail starts. I don't know if the measurement really means a ton, but if I look at, yeah. Sorry, I'm going to go ahead and take these off. I don't really know of any easier way to do this unless you were to do this in the beginning. Honestly, when you're building your frame, probably would have been the better time to install these rails. And that's it. So this is going on the inside, so we're looking at this slot here. So again, we need to prepare one of these rails. Let's make sure it moves smoothly. Again, these are all brandy new inside the packaging. First time I'm opening up this one. I'm getting a little greasy here. But again, this one moves just as good as the other one. No binding anywhere. I had seen, the reason why I'm checking this is because I did see a few people complain in the Facebook group that theirs were not genuine high winds and that they had some catching. So I just want to be sure that before I install them, I can verify that they do run smoothly. I have to keep wiping my hands off because again there is the oil on these still. So now we do the boring part again of installing a bunch of T-nuts and screws. Oh, I drop everything. These are just these tiny, tiny little M3s and T-nuts here to do this. Brandon, yeah, I will grease them eventually. I do have some proper 3-in-1 oil for these, so before we actually get to getting, they will get oiled properly. The whole thing right now is just to ensure proper assembly so we don't have any problems. Come on. They didn't really send a whole lot of M3 T-nuts, I'm guessing because most of these larger parts are going to connect with M5s. is my guess. Because there's a ton of M5s still left over after doing the frame. I mean, the frame took nearly 100 bolts and T-nuts to assemble. Here. Leave the middle one open this time. More middle. Come on. There we go. Okay. Man. So again, this is going on the inside, which is this one here. Okay. Now this needs to be 70 millimeters. That'd be funny. Right about there. Need my guide. Where's the guide? Here's the guide. Of course, I moved it. Remeasure that again. There. Tighten that one down. Okay. Here. Tighten that one down. Easy day. All right, Dan. Good deal, dude. Very cool to see these guides. I've never seen these before. Thankfully, my Anycubic Mega Zero prints very accurately, which you could tell the other night from the actual sizing guide I was using on, was that Monday night when I started this build. Okay. So again, we're going to zip tie this on until I get the 3D printed parts on, because I don't want to lose these bearings, because then I'll have to just buy a new block. I think these twisties, these ones are going to be too small. They are. I have to double it up. This is probably an overkill precaution, but Jesse, these came with the kit. But you can buy MGN rails on AliExpress, which anyone who's trying to save a buck, that's where they buy them at. I know there's a lot of people that have converted their FT5s to using linear rails. I mean, what has them, but I haven't bought any different ones. I'm still using the stock ones that came with it. Gunner, so this is not V-slot, this is T-slot. Could be why installation is easier. There we go. Now to just realign these up here. This front one. Now sides. Go back on. Hang on a smidge here. Yeah, actually, in the BLV documentation, if you are sourcing your own, he specifically tells you in there not to use V-slot because it won't. It's not really meant for this application since we're not using any wheels, we're using all linear rails. All right, that one. So that's the one thing that's confusing because that is definitely going to hit, isn't it? Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of just looking here. So the way that these actually go on, this one actually kind of clips onto this rail, and that one just sits flush on it, which is very interesting. But I was a little confused because this one doesn't say to take out one of these corner brackets, and this one doesn't have that corner bracket right here. So all right, well, we got one of those done. Let me take off the other side here real quick, and we can get that side installed. You guys can still see me? Yeah, oh yeah. Nice wide angle on this camera. Put these on tight because I didn't think I was going to have to do this. Alright, so this doesn't really matter because I can just flip it around. But I'll put it on here, come back down here. Yeah, there's a lot of auto-ness going on with video mode on this camera, so I'm not really sure how to combat that yet, but we'll get there when we get there. Okay, new rail, open it up. Let's see. All right, so far we are 3 for 3. There's 2 more for the Z to go on, but so far these all move miraculously well. Very, very good news. God, golly. All right, so on to more screws. I wonder if it's easier if I do this. It is easier. These heads just barely fit in here.
fingers are a little too big to hold the head in well. But it's faster than that. Here's the tedious part, just getting these doggone T-nuts on. Oh my goodness. Oh, the bunny came to say hi. And the bunny goes away. Come on. This doesn't help that my fingers are getting fairly oily from all of this. Really gonna need to clean down this extrusion when I'm done. One more after this, I think. Yeah, last one. Right there. Alright. Put this here. That. We'll get the alignment tool on there this time so I can slide the whole bit. 70 millimeters down in. And tighten it down. Yeah, this is kind of brilliant. I love it. BS Tech, we don't pay import taxes in the US for consumer products. Because I live in the US. I know other countries have to worry about stuff like that. Shipping on this was $130. That's good there. I think they used, I think it was DHL. It arrived actually very quickly once they shipped it. It did take them, because they only have a few days to ship on AliExpress before they like cancel your order. They literally was like a few hours before the window ended. I think if they give them 8 days to ship, and they took 7.5 of those days in order to ship this to me. And then once it shipped, it was maybe, what, 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks. I mean, I ordered this. This came before the bear. I ordered the bear kit from Ally a while ago. And I put that on the wrong way. Because once I install that, that's going to be that way. So I need to respace that. If I install it the same way I did this one, it needs to be the opposite. And since these rails are not centered, it does matter. I think I cut that now and not later. Because this would be a bear to have to change. Alright, calipers out again. There it is. Now retighten down. Matt, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, but I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just start printing the parts. And if the parts are ready on the days that I'm supposed to publish videos, I'm just going to do a live stream. So I might actually just make this like my next few week project. I have the Z parts are printing right now on this printer right here. All the Z parts are going right now. So I will have all of those ready for Monday. So I might do Z on Monday's live stream then instead of a video. Did I get all those? Yeah, okay. So now push those on. I can install this. Tilt you back up. And need this screwdriver. Beat it, you two. Friggin' animals. Having 2 more kids in the house, just what I need. Okay, there. Come on, turn. Okay, there. There we go. In now. Okay, put these back on now. Really ready to start some actual assembly. All right, so we've got 2 of those going here. We'll get X on there in short order.
Hey, Vince. Jordy, I think you probably can get a better deal at Ziltech right now. You can get 1.5 meter for $11 on Ziltech, I think it is. And it's even cheaper with my discount code. Nime, I am not going to get into that, man. BS Tech, no, I didn't pay via PayPal because they charge the PayPal fee. I think that's BS, so I paid via my credit card. Okay, so I can go to here. Yeah, we can do that. And then, oh, that's not right. Let's get rid of that. Let's recenter that. There we go. All right, so you guys can see what I'm looking at over here. We're going to shoot to the, he's got a assembly video here. So how we're going to start installing these pieces. So these are the carriage pieces here. And these just kind of go right up underneath, and they actually do label. This one's not labeled, but the right hand side has a R on it to tell you that that goes on the right hand side of the printer. So we're going to do left first, and we're using M3 by 8 millimeters. I think these are the little black ones that I'm using here. Pretty sure these are 8 mil. I'll verify though. Yeah, these are 8 mil. So we're just going to go ahead and probably should drill these out. So I have to say I am not 100% impressed with the printability of this kit. It does require supports, and it does not take into account having the kind of flanges over like the insets for the screws, so it's kind of all gnarled in there because I had to like jam out all the support material. Even though, I mean, the Mark III's clone does good prints, but getting it out of an M3, a little 5 millimeter hole, is tough. So it's annoying. Drill bits. Oh, we'll use my, where are my other ones at? Where are those at? They're up here. Sorry, 1 second. This is my one for M3s. Now, 9, we did talk about design prototype test on the Discord. But yeah, he's pretty much a tool. Right, so these get in here and just go. These just seat snugly right onto the rails, and I'm gonna have to take these off again because there's no way to get to the screws under there. So that's I don't want to take this crap apart again. I wonder if there's a way that I can get a decent angle to be able to put those in. Man, that's annoying. I can get to the 2 inside ones without a problem.
these ones here, there's no way I'm going to be able to fit any type of screwdriver in there for those. I can barely get my fingers in there. Oh, great. Now you're stuck in there. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to get my fingers in there to get these on properly. I guess I should do it now, right? Rather than wait. I guess let me drill out some of these other holes real quick. Whoa, that hurt. These holes are bigger, I can drill those out later. Here's one here. Let's do this side now. These ones here. Wait. Probably should have did this before I did the stream, but I didn't really think about it till now, so sorry. Through yet. Never good. All right. I got just one more piece here to do. Two more pieces. All right, yeah, sorry about that. I should have muted, my bad. I didn't think about that. I will if I have to drill again. Anyways, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take all these off. CNX, what up, bud? Take these off again. Oh, I will say, Tuesday, my arms were killing me from putting all these together, and my fingers hurt too from putting all of those T-nuts on. Alright, we're doing all this for literally 2 seconds. Put 2 bolts in. And then we can put this back on. Although, actually it's probably best to keep this off because I don't know if the corners have anything that need to go in there too. We'll check those out in a minute. Christopher, what's up? Oh, I was saying earlier is I'm not terribly a fan of the printability of the kit. I think more parts should not have support. But then again, nobody is building this as their first brand. So there's things that you should kind of know. Okay, so when this gets put on, yeah, this is going to have a bottom bolt there to put on. There's no other way to get that on unless I take out this here, so that will have to be later. I'll have to take out this brace. It might have said that in the directions, but I don't really know. And then for the back corners, they're all top mounted and one bottom mount. Okay, yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna button this in. We're gonna leave this top on forever now, and then when the time comes, I'll pull out this other beam in here, kind of do that. That was really annoying to do 2 bolts. Yes, Chris, still a box. But it will be a box with 3D printed parts after today. I kind of figured this in total with the rails would take about 2 hours. This is a little bit of an undersight that I didn't think about when assembling the frame. But that's kind of the problem with a printer that doesn't have a manual. It just has, you know, half a dozen YouTube videos that kind of show what bolts go where. And then you have to use the Fusion 360 CAD model to like fully see it. But yeah, it definitely is an undersight. Because this beam was a bear to get in because it's tight. It's real tight in there. So loosening all that up, I will do that off camera because that's going to take me a while just to loosen this beam back up and do that. So if you're building this the first time, one thing to note is don't do this inside T and this back support until you do the Y assembly. Then mount on this Z brace assembly bit and go from there, because that is clearly a huge headache for me here. You know, I have to remeasure all this out when I go to put that back in, unless I can figure out how to pull these T-nuts out in a way that they don't fall on somewhere and slide it out. But I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, so the other side, and let's take those bits off. Where my screwdriver at? Choose your order assembly. Yeah. Well, I would choose to do it correctly the first time, because I hate redoing work because I missed something, and it's even more annoying. It's not really mentioned. I mean, even if the tutorial video was just one video that showed you the steps to put things in. Don't even show me the bolts. You can show me that in a PDF. But at least do one video of the complete assembly. Okay, so here, that's not it. Here it is. Here's the other part. Again, this one has the R on it to show you that it's for the right side. Just snaps on there. Gonna make a vacuum former. That sounds like a boatload of fun. And the holes are definitely undersized in the prints. I just think these parts would look so much better with a chamfer instead of the fillet, which requires support. And there's remixes. The thing is, there's remixes for like other parts on this printer, but there's no remixes of the core parts. This is left side, I'm on the right side, so that one doesn't have, this one just has this one piece. I'm gonna get that later. It's not worth it to do it this way now to try and figure out how to do that. Whoa, come on. There we go. See, I dropped something again. I don't think I can go 30 minutes without dropping something. Okay. Hopefully put these plates on again for the last time. Okay.
Blah, blah. What's the next part here? So these are the M5s. One M5 by 10, which were the ones that I used before. Grease monkeys, but I pulled out a few. Okay. So the M5 by 10. Are these the 10 or are these the 8s? These are the 10s. Alright, so the 10 mil goes in the front hole. Which I should drill these out too. And mute you guys real quick. Like that. All right. HPs. Chris, I have not. M5 T-nuts for these. So yeah, let's see if I can zoom in on this well enough. The zoom in this lens is a little finicky. Let's go angle up a little bit here. There we go. So we've got our... Look, that was like 3 minutes before I dropped something. 10 mil goes in here. That doesn't even fit up in there. That's in all the way. Where's the 16 ones at? And 5 by 16, there's 2 of them here. Oh, it does sound really cool. Okay, well the 16 mil one got through. I might have to just get an M5 of my own to put in there. Yeah, we're just gonna stay out. Make my life easier that way. Come on down a little bit here. That's good. So these 10s are not making it. If we were maybe make them this side, it's not making it on that side. Yeah.
Again, it's because of all the support that's needed inside of these things. Clearing it all out is near impossible. So, let's pull out the M5 bolts and find something that fits. That'll do. You definitely need to get somebody with some remixes on these parts to make them easier to put together. That one goes way too far. I think I had like a 12. That would be nice. I don't think I'd do an M5. Try this 10 one more time. Maybe that one cleared out enough space. Man. Yeah, there's no way. That's nowhere near long enough. Just give me a second here to find something that'll work. Socket cap's a 10. Here's a 12. It's a socket cap though, but I can make that work. Where's my other screwdriver at? You won't be able to see it because it's recessed, but it is the proper length. So now I think we can go ahead and, yeah, we'll do this. Yeah, all right, we can. The rail goes on top. Make sure we have enough space. That one. There. Oh my goodness. Okay, that one's on. Come on. Look at that. I can do that all day. Oh man, that's good stuff right there. Oh no, Bilbo Baggins. That's sad to hear. So now the next part is the washer, and we need some bearings now. So we need lots of washers in this build. So here we need an entry washer. There. And the oh, I put the bearings back, didn't I? Where did I put the bearings? Oh. I put them back? Hang on 1 second while I find the bearings. Yeah, I put them back in the box. We need 2 of these. Using flange bearings instead of any idler bearings. 88. Holy heck! I didn't realize he was that old in the movies. He was in his 60s. Wow. He looked fantastic for that age. So it's bearing, and then a washer, and then a bearing, and then a washer. Alright, so let's do bearing washer, bearing washer. M3 nut. Where are those at? Where's the lock nuts? I didn't keep those out either. So I need a wee screwdriver. Where's the wee screwdriver? Here it is. Put the bearing in, nut in. Which is an insanely tight fit. Kind of supposed to go in this little pocket on here. Man, it's not going anywhere. I have a piece of support that I missed. There we go. That's somewhat in. Don't know if that's all the way in or not. I can't tell. I'm going to get an M3 here and see if it actually went in all the way or not. What's up, Michael? Oh, they last longer than tooth idlers. Oh, interesting. I've always went for tooth or smooth idlers when I can. I've never gone the bearing route unless I had to. Oh wow, these are Phillips heads. Yeah, I think it reaches it. Let me just switch this out. I want to drill a few of these holes again real quick, so give me a second. Okay. Oh, I was supposed to drill that one all the way through. Whoops. Oh well. Doesn't really do anything much. So I can put these back on here, like so, and then we're doing another, a lot of bearings, a lot of washers, a lot of parts here. Another washer on top of this one. Which, threading this needle is going to be brutal. Washer up here. Okay. We do more bearings up there. Now we're doing a. Now it's doing an actual tooth idler. Holy ones. I don't see tooth idlers in the kit, so we're just going to go with another bearing setup. So, bearing, washer, bearing here. Yeah, getting this next top piece down is going to be the crucial part. I don't know if I'll be able to show this at all. Come on. You see I'm like stacking these bearings on there to kind of weight. Another washer on top of it. I need to put that in 3 nuts. Another washer on top of here. Boop. An M3 nut needs to go into this back side here. Putting this in is going to be rough. Oh. Thought I could do it without disturbing the bearings. I feel like this is like the dad Cheerio challenge. For any of you dads out there, you ever done that before? I don't know what that feels like. Okay. So those are all there. The nut is in. Now it should be, okay, we're going to do the belts later. Alright, so are those the two 10 mils? Yeah, okay, so now we have the top bearing block here. So this is going to sit on top of all this jazz, but we need to put in 2 M5s first. Stand by one. Okay, that's better. One, two. Peanuts. Hopefully this will go on without jacking up all these bearings. too far to this side. Just a bit. Okay, now what are those long screws supposed to be? 3x35s. We've got 3x35s. So now I need to thread the needle on these. Oh, there goes the stack. Knew that was going to happen. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Be trying to hold them together like this, maybe? I just want to fall apart. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Bolts at. Yeah. And it all fell off again. Not gonna lie, regular bearings would be so much easier than this. Shit, fell off again. Or bolting it from the bottom so you don't have to try and do the balancing act with these things. And this is a pain. We'll try this way and then we'll try something else. Bearings magnetized, that's why I'm having a hard time too. We're going to try it some other way, because this is not working at all. Alright, what's a new plan to figure out how to do this? Well, these things are so freaking small, and you have them stacked like you have something that is not meant to be stacked and stay still, stacked trying to keep it still. So, sorry, but the way about going about putting these part here together is just dumb. I don't know how else to say it. This is a dumb way to do this. What do I know? I didn't design it. Drop the whole other side. Let's see if we can thread these on first. Over here. Okay. Now to figure out how to get these locked in. Spin. Not for you. There's a lot more play in these bearings over here than this one over here. I don't know why. Let's check something real quick. That's not working at all. Hang on a second. Mute. So the gap on the backside of this is pretty big. I'm not really a fan of that. Because this bearing is all the way down. It's not going anywhere. But the one in the back has got a ton of play in it. And I can't get that nut in there to line up. It's in all the way. My guess is that it went in too far. I don't know how I'm going to get that back out. Because he made these nut traps so freaking tight. It's just not in enough. Nope. That nut is not lined up at all. My guess is it's in there too far now. How am I going to get it out? Well, there goes more of that screwdriver. I think it's in there too far. I can't get it out. Oh, what to try next? What to try next? Try to get that nut out of there. Come on. Ugh. Jeez H, man. It also could not be any more an awkward position to try and get in here. definitely feels lined up now. It feels lined up, but it's not going in. Let's do a bolt from the bottom, just for kicks. Whoops. In. Is that it there? Wait, let's replace it. I was able to get it out here, I think. Yep. Maybe it's just a bad nut. How much time did you think would take you to have the printer fully assembled and tuned? I mean, fully assembled, I'll be happy if it's done in a couple weeks. Tuned, I have no idea how long it'll take to tune this. He does have a simplified 3D profile to start out with, so it'll kind of get me going a bit. The table there. I think I'm close to getting it here. But I think there's some debris in the back there, preventing it from going all the way in. That's gone. But either way, so we'll screwdriver it. Thinking some support must have got in there somehow. Timber. try that again. I just don't think it's going back far enough. It's the problem. Actually, I think the screw might be a smidge too short to catch that bolt right off the bat. See it there, it's not grabbing it. Let's see if this helps. I can see it. Why won't you just grip it? And this design flaw is friggin' super annoying. If I can get it from the bottom, I should be able to get it from the top. Did you grab it? Nope. Alright, we're going to have to reprint that part or something because it's just not lining up, and I'm done digging with it. I mean, the bearing is in there, it's held, but it's just loose because I can't clamp this side down to get that slack out of it. Even with this here, it's still going to be a lot of play in this bearing. I don't know what the deal is with that part, but it's just not properly aligned there. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is, but I'll reprint this bottom carriage here, right here, and go from there. But for now, we're going to go to the other side and get all that together now. I guess I know what all the parts are that I need to do this stuff now. Maybe the other side would line up better. I don't know. Does anybody know if Weha has a warranty on their things? Because I'd already chipped this little screwdriver when I was working on trying to get a bolt out of something, and it chipped as I was turning it, and now I just kind of snapped the rest of that off there. I was wondering if they have any type of warranty on their screwdrivers or not. We'll put the bolts through, and as Justin said, I will try to build the bearings on here first and then set it on there and see if I can get it to work. So we need a bunch of washers. We need to do washer, washer, bearing, bearing, more washers, another washer, 2 more bearings, one there, one there, okay, and then another washer. Okay. Let's screw that for this out here. Let's see if I can. Okay. So, let's hope we don't have the same issue with these nut traps, which I have a sneaking suspicion that I will. Okay. Now, make sure these are clear first. There. It does feel a little bit gunky, but we'll see how well these go in. It's not lining up with that one either. You know what? I think I put those on backwards. No, left. No, that's right. This is right. That's left. Yeah, no, I did these right. Why do they just look so goofy? Well, I guess it's the. Oh, I guess it's the. Oh, I get it now. Oh, no, that's right. I get it. The space for the belts. And that doesn't line up either. Does this one line up? lined up too well because I didn't put that nut in yet. Oh, there's gunk in there though. Yeah, these really did print like absolute garbage. Okay. We're down too far now. Alright, so we're 2 for 4 on lining up. This front one lines up, this front one lines up, these back two do not. And that one went in a smidgen more. Still does not line up though. Man, I am just so over this at this point. Stuff not lining up properly. Wait, did that do it? I did it. Just the weight of the drill helped kind of push that all the way down there. All right. At least there's those two for now. And what's his last bolt that needs to go in there? And 3x50. 40. Oh, 50's right here. Yeah, I know, Jesse. I need to figure out how to tune it more. I think what needs to happen is I need to take it into manual picture mode and then adjust the settings and then go back into video mode. Alright, these just get nylocks, now they stick out the bottom. I think I can get off of that back onto my little one here. I think this can handle it. I don't know. Nope, not at all. Not in the slightest. These. Okay. Other side here. Okay, there's that now. That's the end for that set of instructions there. The next one here is these front belt tensioners, which we're gonna do these by themselves, I think. Yeah. Alright, it's using washers. So we gotta do the same setup for these little guys here. These ones. I do need to drill them out for a quick second. Mute you guys. Where we at? Right. All right. You're supposed to just be able to go through there, but you don't. So I need to change bigger, but to 1/8. Oh, come on. There we go. How do I get you to get in there all the way? Do that one. So I got these little hex head bolts that need to be pulled down through these things. Now I get them started and these they don't wiggle anymore. Alright, so now we gotta put the bearings in them. So this is the same boring routine as before. Pull bearings out. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's gonna be washer bearing. It's a vent washer. Washer bearing. Washer. Now, what size screws are you putting through here? An M3 by 18. 3 by 18. So here we go. This should be fun to try and get to work. Again, this setup is just not conducive at all for hands of an adult human. Okay. Pull that back down though. Put another bearing in there. Somehow. That. And gotta get another washer in there somehow. See if that worked. And it worked. So we got that put in there. Man, that was a pain. Alright, so that's only part of the battle, because the next part of the battle here is to get this on here, like that. And it's calling for an M5 to go in here, but it can't do that because of the way that this stuff isn't. I'm guessing this is just gonna. It's just to sit in there. This one does absolutely nothing. Doesn't grip on anything, but whatevs. And then I need a T-nut to slide in there somehow. We picked it up, good deal. Okay, I get the same thing for this front side. Get a T-nut, place it in the groove, put something underneath of it to push it up so that it lines up where you need it. There. Goes. So after these ones, I need to clean some more of these M5s off. So let's get another T-nut ready here. There we go. Shoot, bring that it lined up. There we are. Ah, alright. I'm just dropping everything. As usual. Okay. So we have that done. Now this bearing goes in here. So it should push out that hole, but it won't because it's too small. So there it is. There it is. Look at that. And now we've got these little knobs that will go on there, and these are just, I think these are regular, or do they use nylock? Yeah, I'll get that in a minute. Just regular M4 nut. There's only 2 M4 nuts in the kit. I wonder, I mean, they play this really close, I will say that. Like, there is a large potential for something not being included. A lot of kits you get these days will come with at least like 1 or 2 extra parts, you know? Get that pulled in all the way. Just like that. That's pretty cool. I got to do another. Turn this whole thing this way. Got one to do here. I got one to do on the inside there, but again, that's gonna have to wait till later. Honestly, I don't think it needs it either way. Having 5 other bolts hold this on should be enough. I mean, if you need more than that, there's a problem there. This thing is built like a brick house. Where's the screwdriver? There it is. I mean, those are strong on there. That moves remarkably well, too. And I'll eventually take out the idler block when I go to run the belts. I'm gonna wait to run the belts, because I think what I'll do here is I'll get these back plates ready. But then this is part of still the assembly here. I just thought this was gonna go so much smoother. I mean, I'm already at over 2 hours now. I still gotta do this front one here. So I just really thought that this had very few parts. I guess I was a little too optimistic on how easy this was going to be to install, because it is not that at all. It's not easy at all. Alright, I do need to clean off some more of these M5 bolts. Just get a bunch more out to clean. 30-day prints, geez. I don't really print anything that long anymore unless I'm doing some review and I want to print something really massive, but most of my prints are less than a day. But that's also achievable because I have such a large nozzle on the X1. Oh, that doesn't get... Oh, you know what then? I'm gonna do it easy then. Do it the easy way. Take these off. Push these back out. Put these front ones in first like this. That way I don't have to suspend the T-nut in some weird way to try to get it to catch. Just make life easier. You couldn't do that on the left side because it actually like hugs around the front 2040 in a very odd way. So there's no way to like try and pre-stage any of the nuts. You can't do it with any of them. But this one I can, because this goes on the front. Like that. Just hold it on tight. Tighten this in. 1, 2. One just goes into the extrusion there. I guess it's for prettiness. It really serves no purpose whatsoever. Okay. One more on the side here to do. Grab. Oh, it didn't grab properly. That kind of did. Okay. Just do it on an angle like this, I guess, for now. Yeah, that'll work. I'm going to do this other bearing block here with my tweezers because it's the only way to actually get this to work. Oh wait, I should use the bolt like I did the other one. There we go. This, top of there, like that. Bearing. In there. Nope, knocked off the washer. washer squeezed up in there. Oh, that one's gone. We got it. We got it. Okay. That is brutal. There's no wiggly jigglies in this at all. None whatsoever. Let me do this nut real quick before I put it on. Yeah, you definitely can't say this isn't a stout build, because it so is. Just gonna get this kind of threaded on there first. The kit comes with 190s, I think, on here. Okay. Yeah, I'm using most of them. There's still another probably 15 or 20 in the bag. These go on a certain way. That's the other thing. I'm not a fan of. See how these are different size? It doesn't go on that way. It goes on this way. This one's the opposite. Yeah. Okay. Easy day. Okay. Got the two front corners on there. Alright, so that's just those parts. I don't think there is a build video he did for the back corner. Yeah, it was just the front Y assembly. We did that. This is the X carriage. This will be another day. This is the Z carriage. That's another day. There's no video on how to do the back corner. Awesome sauce. So we're just going to try and figure that back corner out, I guess. Let's flip this all the way this way. And we'll start with the back left. It should be here, yeah. So I'm thinking we'll put this block in first. It goes right here. Let me switch to this camera. It ties right in there. So there's like 3 bolts to hold that in, and there's one more in the bottom. But again, those will come later. So I will pre-stage these ones. Because I can put all 3 of these on and then attach it. And then we'll wait to install the top until I do the motors. I don't know if I'm going to do the motors tonight, honestly, because this has been quite the epilogue. And I don't want to get ahead of myself because I do need to reprint both of these bottom pieces. This one over here cracked, and this one over here is I can't get that nut to be there. So I think I'm going to print them in Simplify 3D on a different printer so that I can control the support better. I really, even with using support enforcers or support blockers, proof slicer just, I don't know. Sometimes proof slicer supports do not impress me, and with this PETG, and supports coming off PETG are tough, unless someone else knows some magic, but I've always had trouble with PETG supports coming off well. It definitely needs to be printed on a different printer. So I'll print on one of the Enders. They give me pretty good PG results. Or I do have Megatron working now. I can always print on Megatron. Oh man. Aaron, I need some of those full-size handles, buddy. That's one motor mount ready in there. Aaron, if you could do that, that would be fantastic. I think it will need it does need a little bit of support over where it goes flat, but the whole range up, and it's just that the fact that it has recessed holes under there, it just doesn't do well. I can just say it doesn't do well. Yeah, these bearings are going to take another time because I am not. Aaron remixes parts way faster than I do. He's way better at fusion than I am. I'm getting better, but I'm not on that level yet. Like a lot of these holes need to be bigger too. I don't know. It would be quite the project. Honestly, this is the most printed heavy part printer I've ever put together. I mean, if you think the Mark III uses a lot of 3D printed parts, this thing uses a ton. Like, there's a lot of printed parts, and it would be nice to not have to drill out all of these holes all the time, and that they would be sized appropriately. Because my Mark III usually gives me pretty good prints, and I don't want to, unless something has happened with it that's no longer giving me those good prints anymore. These parts definitely need to be worked on a little bit. I don't remember, Aaron. I think it was... Where did I find that at? I really don't know. It's not in my downloads there. Is it in any of the... Maybe it's on the Thingiverse? Let me look real quick. I can find it here. It's on his website, maybe? Is it on here? I really don't remember. I'll just send you a link, Aaron. I think you can download it from there, right? I sent it to you on Discord. That should work. Yeah, so I'll plug the Discord if you guys want to come hang out with us, talk about 3D printers, anything like that. There's a link for Discord down below. There's always something going on there. I'm running the 3D printer challenge. We've got a couple people that are pretty far along with their builds, looking good. Still love doing that. I mean, Shane is going to have to come off, but, you know, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll take out that bottom beam so I can access those instead of taking this whole thing apart like that. Okay, so we got the two motor mounts in there. So here's what those look like, here and up here. Motors come in from the bottom. They use really long screws to mount the motors on. And both of these motor tops have these top plates that go on there. Oh man. And these will go like that. And that will capture the bearings. Then you'll run your, looks like 3 screws down from here into the motor. So you'll need to get most of that ready to go first. You have one, there's one through bolt here at the bottom to hold the motor in there. Then you'll add in all your bearings and everything. Squish that on there, mount that with 4 holes on top. And then this one, same thing over here. 1 through hole for the part, that goes on there. Now the difference between the left and the right is the right side has this small extra bottom plate for the bearings to go on, and that goes on right there in the back. So I'll give you a top-down view of how these look. That kind of covers that whole corner up. Covers the whole corner up here. I'm going to wait to do those, to be honest, because I've been at this for 2.5 hours, and I've gotten half a dozen prints on, and I have to reprint this anyways. So I have another roll of yellow PETG. I'm going to throw that on a different printer and reprint these parts. And maybe tomorrow night for the Saturday night hangout, we can continue with these back blocks. I'll see if I can get some of the bearings kind of queued up for that. I'll get the motors out that I need for this and just kind of verify that. But again, this is on the Hypercube. So let me turn this sideways here, frontways I should say. So on the Hypercube, you have your motors on the front and just some idler bearings in the back. This is opposite, where you have your motors in the back here, and you have a idler, quote, this one just happens to have a tensioning system on it here at the front. So very, very minor difference. It's just kind of flipping the way that is. But the fact that this does have belt tensioning here, and you don't have to worry about messing with it on your carriage, is nice. Because if you're like, oh, a little slack there, whoop, 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 done. You don't have to like come into the back, loosen something up, or change something on your carriage. That could kind of stay the way it is, and you mess with up here. So I do like that design feature that he did there. I do like that. But yeah, so that's a pretty slick way to do it. Wait, oh, I'm sorry. What is going on here? Oh, make our own version of the BLV. I mean, Aaron and I made Megatron, which is down there. I mean, Megatron, I'm going to do a video after I get the new motors in. I'm going to do a kind of like a summarization video on Megatron. And I think that'll be cool. A lot of people have asked for the STLs for it. I think it's done. I printed most of the parts for down here. Master Crane is down there. That is my small printer challenge entry that I'm doing for myself. But yeah, so there's that one. But yeah, that's my a custom printer that Aaron and I did. Mostly the only thing non-custom on it is we're using completely bare extruder and the bare X/Z gantry. That is complete straight off the bare. Everything else has been either remixed or designed from scratch on that printer. And then this printer is completely scratch built myself. I designed that one. But I mean, it would be kind of fun to design something like this maybe. Maybe once we finalize a few last little things on Megatron and get through the printer build. Maybe I can convince Aaron to help me design our own like this. But I mean, this is a very interesting build. I think it could be done a little better. I think it could be made a little more 3D printable, kind of like the Hypercube is very 3D printable. And the way that it sandwiches the bearings on that, you can print that flat. And that really helps with, there's like no, I don't think there's any support needed on any of the Hypercube parts, which is huge. So it would be really nice to have a completely no support needed version of the BLV. Which you probably could do even now. It's just kind of the route that he took for some of these parts to kind of loop them around here, and making these a little more 3D printable would be better. Not necessarily making them one part because they're so tight to be hard to get in there. It's hard enough now to get the bearings in there. So I think definitely is something to maybe consider in the future, trying to do some modifications to this one. Once I get through that, I do want to do it with the parts that he has for now and kind of go on from there. That's how I did the Hypercube. Well, Aaron's down. maybe you guys will see in the future. Yeah, Aaron, this is definitely not a 1 week challenge. So we designed Megatron in 1 week. That was a 1 week challenge that I kind of privately said to him, like, let's see if we can do a printer in a week. And we did. But maybe we could remix some of these parts. Quality reliability of the Hypercube is good. I am having a little bit of issues with the extruder. I think it's the throat I have on it. I'm sorry, not the extruder, the hot end. I am using a super cheap clone. I have some new throats coming in for some of my clone printers that need a bit of an upgrade, so I'm going to put those on and see how it goes. But yeah, maybe Aaron and I can build a Core XY kind of similar to this. I like the structure of it. Maybe we could reuse the structure, but make our own 3D printed parts that require little or no support. The goal is no support though, because you don't need support. I mean, if you can design things well, you can design things without support. I mean, look at Prussia. He did an entire printer without support. So I think there's one part that has a breakaway support, and that is the fan shroud. Other than that, no support's needed. So that's good. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night, guys. This kind of was exhausting. This is very exhausting. Plus, it's after midnight now. But this was fun. So I think I will go ahead and reprint these carriages. And if I don't reassemble them tomorrow on my own, I'll reassemble them on the stream. Let's get these back here on. We can run the belts and do the bearings. These bearings just took so much time to do. But now I know how they're to be done, and hopefully it won't take as long to do. All right. That's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to check out the links in the description, like the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night for the live stream. Have fun, happy printing, wash your hands. See y'all next time.